Good evening. It is April 25th, 2022. Welcome back to BoomerRexTonight, your nearly daily source for news and politics. I'm RisenLadyHeathen. Hey, asshole, what separates our show from other millennial news podcasts?
We have a crazy dog that runs around real fast sometimes, and then he falls down.
That's right.
That is kind of funny.
Almost as funny as the boomer.
Yep.
We have a boomer, and not just any boomer. We have Mr. Boomer Rex himself.
Yeah, good evening.
You two eat, sleep, and breathe politics, and I'm learning as three unique perspectives we share along with the facts from our literal round table. It's just the news Monday, so let's dig right into our headlines. Woman falls in toilet trying to get her phone. What is this?
Yeah, so anyway.
No, we're done, species. It's over.
The
The toilets get to be the new dominant species.
So she was on
Apparently.
top of Mount Walker in the Olympic National Forest.
Oh my god.
A vault.
It
toilet.
happened to her?
Yeah.
She was using her
Oh.
phone in the vault toilet.
I would just break my phone open and slit my
Managed to-
throat.
Managed to lose.
No, I have to die.
Managed to lose the phone into the toilet. And then she tried to get it back. So she's trying to reach in and so forth. And you've seen vault toilets.
I
It's a
would
long
just
way down.
set it on fire.
So anyway, she had a couple of dog leashes. And so she disassembled the top of the vault toilet, right? So she had good access. And then she tried to use the dog leashes to support herself while she let herself down head first
So many.
to reach for the, well, you'd have to be
Yeah,
head
yeah.
first to reach for the phone.
Yeah.
You can't tell me that you haven't looked at one of those vault toilets and thought, shit, I'm glad my phone's not in there. So,
And if it
anyway.
was, I'd leave. That phone's gone.
So,
It's
anyway.
fallen behind the like when you were a kid. There were places things could go. They were just gone. In the yard with the mean dog. Yeah, that's it. Like, bye, Frisbee. You belong to a dog
So
now.
anyway, she fell into the toilet head first and apparently was lucky enough to be able to turn around, get her head above.
Yeah.
Yeah. She tried for 10 or 15 minutes to get out, and then finally, since she had her
Yeah,
phone,
no.
she called 911.
No fucking shit. I mean,
So-
I guess a lot of shit, but
They passed her blocks to stand on to reach a harness. They pulled her out, hosed her off, and suggested she get medical attention. And she said, "The hell with that, I'm leaving." So anyway,
I would have gone
congratulations on
and
getting your
gotten
phone back.
shots for every hepatitis. I mean, everything
yeah.
you can get shots for.
No, I was glad to see she got out and she got her phone back. I did have one thought related to this, which is if you're gonna go vault toilet diving, you need to go out and recruit somebody to be there with you, and you need to suppose 9/11 hadn't worked.
Yeah.
I mean, she'd have had to wait for, and I could see people opening it and seeing the toilet seat was disassembled
Yep.
and just walking away.
yeah, I'm gonna shout help a lot.
Yeah, I am too. Anyway, so congratulations on getting your phone back.
That's fucking. Next time,
It's probably not
leave
cold.
your phone, or more, appropriately, go find other people to assist in the retrieval. I'm sure there's park rangers or something you could speak to.
I'm sure I
Somebody's
could
gotta
have
an
woven a
idea.
little basket to put on the end of a stick to fish out my phone.
Something, right?
Yeah.
Something.
Yeah, no, I'm not getting in the fucking hole. Like,
Mm-mm.
that's one of those. Nope, you're just gonna have to kill me right fucking here.
On the other hand, I do remember once that Asshole and I discussed the possibility of setting up a vault toilet
Yeah, there's that.
as a giant Jack in the Box.
We might actually be monsters. We would obviously never do it because they would die.
Hey, wait, can you?
I would
imagine?
die. Like,
Oh.
a fucking head on a broom handle pops out. That's it. Game over. I'm break my phone, slit my throat.
Yeah, I'm sure you could.
Respawn.
You could do a Chernobyl-ish thing or whatever. Yeah, you could.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have some
They
good
made the
news.
alien from
Out of
aliens out of
Texas.
trash bags.
This is an update on a previous story we've discussed. Melissa Lucio's execution has been put on hold.
Oh shit!
So-
Thank God. I was kind of worried you were gonna say happened at whatever. 12:01.
By the Texas Court of Criminal Appeals.
Fucking.
They sent her case back to Cameron County Court, where she was originally tried, to weigh whether she is actually innocent, as well as whether the state presented false testimony in the trial and hid evidence from the defense. The court's ruling came minutes before the Texas Board of Pardons was scheduled to vote on whether or not to recommend that the governor delay the execution by 120 days.
Oh, I have a question. Why are we sending it back to the same people who fucked it up in the first place?
Because that's how the legal system.
Okay, but that's fucked up.
Yeah.
Okay, you people out there, listen to me. Listen to what they're doing, okay? They're going back to the people who fucked it up and saying, hey, you fucked this up. We need you to admit that so we can let this woman go. The chances of them admitting
States are not good at that.
it's not gonna happen, man. This is some bullshit. This is some just to make people feel like they tried really hard and they're just gonna execute her anyway. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, because this isn't covered by the thing that fucks up habeas at the Fed level.
They denied her, even the Innocence Project lawyers have pointed out, look, we have new evidence and, you know, whatever. And they're denied it and said, nope, it doesn't count as new evidence, blah, 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 bullshit, bullshit. So this has all been gone through before. The fact that they're giving her another stay of execution is literally just because there's a big hoobabaloo about it right now.
Yep.
They're betting in 2 weeks America will lose interest.
Yeah, and this is ridiculous. This is happening to so many people, not just this woman. And we've spoke about this. We've spoke about, you know, false confessions and what they do and how they hurt people. By the way, those Miranda rights are there to protect you. Don't talk to cops. Just don't do it.
Yep.
I don't care if you think you're helping them or they pretend that they're helping you. Don't talk to cops without a lawyer present. End of discussion.
Yep.
Done.
Yep. Turns out the Democrats endorsed the independent in the race in Utah.
Right, where they didn't have a candidate.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Are red states going too far by restricting freedom of movement?
Well, there's certainly some of them thinking about it.
That's...
The big thing you've got to realize right now is that when you think of America as being one country, you're already fucked up. Right? You've got the southern tiers of states that don't want it to be one country.
Yeah.
They've committed themselves to a wholly imagined confederacy of the mind and spirit. And this little fictional subnation where real Americans fight to restore God's country to its rightful constitutional origin.
Yeah. They're not kidding.
They just...
White, landowning males.
Yeah. Which is going to upset some of those non-landowners.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're not kidding. Like, renting won't cut it, guys. Like, first off, remember, fucking Benjamin Franklin wrote great diatribes against the Germans and their beady eyes and their swarthy skin.
No, but
they weren't white yet.
Let's remember, though, they're forcing us to rent by saying that you don't make enough to get a mortgage, even though my mortgage payment would be less than half of what I would pay in rent.
It's not that profitable yet. Hold on. But, sorry, you were saying.
No, anyway, it's the whole point is that the South's loyalty to America is conditional.
Yeah.
Right, so you've got Mississippi and Florida that have outlawed access to abortion. Tennessee, Missouri, and others have nullified federal gun laws. That ought to be one we fix. Texas is now doing its own border security and immigration enforcement, neither of which is either their job or legal.
Fuck me, it had to be California.
And next up appears to be restricting the free movement of citizens. Missouri and Texas are debating bills to restrict out-of-state travel of pregnant people. Now, I don't know how you enforce that one, but I encourage them to pass that law.
Yeah.
And then I encourage the Democrats to call themselves Republicans and get out and start enforcing it.
Fucking batshit and madness.
No, this is ridiculous. What, you're going to check every woman who's pregnant, who's leaving? Look, before I get on a plane, I'm going to have to pee on a stick now because I might look like maybe I'm pregnant?
You'll have to bring your papers. They'll have finally made us that country for everybody. Remember back when they...
but it is not legally. They cannot ask for my medical. They have no right to any of my personal medical information.
They're going to have a law that says they can.
Right, but I don't know how they're going to enforce that, considering I have a right to my medical privacy.
They stop you at the border.
They declare the child as having rights.
Yeah.
Or zygote or whatever it is. But... Nah,
Tadpole.
Yeah. The whole thing. This is so crazy. But this is... You remember when Arizona was passing that Papers, Please law for that crazy-ass sheriff?
1071?
1078, I thought.
1078, yeah.
Anyway, and everyone's like, "Oh, it's a big overreaction," and all the like crazy, you know,
Yeah.
like freedom
And then
loving
they
kids are
proceeded
like,
to do exactly what we had said they would do.
"Yep." And
worse than
the
that,
actual people who give a shit about freedom were saying, "How long do you think it's going to be before they find a way to do it to white people?" Because guys, for all the racism white people are accused of against other people who are visually different, we invented several fucking phrases to use against just other white people.
Yeah.
We're so crazy, we attack within our own part of the color wheel.
yeah, just dumb. Anyway, it had exactly the desired effect, which was, for instance, that an undocumented woman who was raped did not call the police.
Fuck no.
So it made all that policing easier.
Then you're
'cause
raped and dropped off in Mexico City.
Right.
Dope.
Again, exactly what
Yeah.
the Republican Party of Arizona had wanted.
Well, and we keep talking about, first off, unless you were alive during, right, before Roe v. Wade and sexually active, shut the fuck up. Like, I'm not, like, yeah, keep the pressure on all of that, but do not shout about the horrors of backroom abortions, like, unless you've got at least a fucking family story, because I've watched 3 kids walk into obvious rakes, and they don't know enough about it, other than it was super fucking horrible bad.
Yeah.
And, like, we have old hippies. Like, that's part of the thing that I want some boomers to come out and be like, we've seen this shit before. They really can just do these things.
There
You ever
certainly are
watched
some
Dirty
stories. I
Dancing?
do not have a first-person story.
My aunt ended up sterilized from a botched backroom abortion.
Okay.
And that's one of the few humans I know who would have been interesting as a mom.
Yep. I know at least one girl in my high school got a very bad pelvic infection from a botched abortion. Well, who knows?
No,
if
and
it
there's-
botched. It worked.
And the worst part about this is it will almost exclusively affect the very poor, and that's kind of it.
Yeah.
Because anyone with the money will just leave.
Yeah, just drive
Right?
across
They'll
the
have a
state
first
line.
doctor fake a thing.
Unless they live in Texas or Missouri. Oh,
No.
wait.
Do
I
you
know,
think
they'll
they're...
still go right across the
Yeah.
border?
They'll get whatever document they need. They'll get it from their golfing buddy when they're out golfing.
Yep.
They're figuring out a way to give a corporation billions of dollars to make tens of thousands of jobs. It's dumb.
Anyway, Boomer Rex is about damn time.
I just
good.
loved this one. So, after the arrest of Proud Boy Barry Bennet Ramey for his participation in the January 6th Capitol riot, an FBI affidavit in connection to his case states that multiple confidential human sources have provided information, including a master list of Proud Boys operating locally in Florida. Anyway, so the Proud Boys have known for some time they've been penetrated like top to bottom.
Their
So now
leader's
they're-
a snitch.
Yeah. So now they're trying to clear out their comm channels and deleting all kinds of stuff and taking everybody off the lists and
Except Larry. He's a good guy. That Larry.
yeah.
Gotta always trust that Larry.
Anyway,
He'd never
I
betray
just
us.
love watching them.
Dance around and be
DK,
crazy
and
about pick a thing.
Yeah.
No, Hell, we found out the House of Representatives had their own internal fucking chats going.
Yeah.
And people who were involved said that everyone texted too much. And I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, everybody says that after your network gets rolled up.
Yep. And now we have many of the texts.
Yeah.
So cool. Gotta love it.
One of the big anonymous texting things, absolutely not anonymous. Absolutely, they log everything because no fucking shit. Remember, we're talking about a world where the FBI put an app for criminals to work together and then arrested everybody.
Yeah.
Uh,
Just great.
All right, let's move on to Dumbass of the Day.
So here we go.
um,
Now this is not actually the dumbass du jour. This is the dumbass de mini yesterjours.
okay.
So the attack on January 6th terrified a lot of people, including Mitch McConnell. But he also said he felt, quote, exhilarated that it would end former President Donald Trump's political career. So I feel exhilarated by the fact that this fellow finally totally discredited himself, told New York Times reporter Jonathan Martin. McConnell honestly thought Trump was pretty thoroughly discredited by this, right? And that it wasn't.
How many stories have you seen about how
I
Trump's
know.
grip on the Republicans is slipping, and he's not drawing the crowds he
So
did, and we'll see when Musk gives him his Twitter back what happens.
Yeah, absolutely. McConnell says he put a gun to his head and pulled the trigger. Couldn't have happened at a better time.
Only
Talk
voted
about
to
a
impeach him.
dumbass. Talk about a fool.
Mm-hmm.
McConnell is just lost in this fantasy world where things are going to return to normal, and there are people who still believe, and of course he never did, so he's got no right to live in that world.
Well,
But just fuck him.
he thought they were going to keep it at the regular con level, right? Take $10 off them, right? Steal a little bit from the Widows and Orphans Fund.
Yeah.
The QAnon and the rest of the fascist infection that's gotten inside the Republican Party,
Yeah.
it doesn't hold reserves. It goes all in on every hand until you burn out.
Yeah.
Hey, look at the guy in Canada who spent his life savings.
Yeah.
Right? The fact that it was a small life savings is just
Doesn't change
its own tragedy.
Yeah.
But it was everything he had.
Yeah.
And the reason that it works this way is so that that's when you can be recruited to do crazy shit.
Yeah.
One of the most scary things I ever heard was that in Israel, if you mention offhandedly suicidal thoughts, there's a not 0% chance you'll be given a suicide vest. That there is enough vests going around, they can just sort of hand them out because your family will get some money and it'll be fine.
No, that's one of the recruiting techniques.
Yeah.
No,
It's a way for capitalism to get its
I want to
own.
go back to the Israeli infantry captain who walked into a dead zone and cut the goddamn suicide vest off a 13-year-old. Way to go, Captain.
I only worry because
In the
that means
finest
he was
tradition.
also summoned the same units that opened fire on EMTs.
Right.
So, no, and that's the problem with where Israel has gotten.
Yep.
Is right if you
We
can't
seem to have
control the
less of the-
settlements,
We seem to have less of the good leaders and more of the
whatever the
war
fuck this
criminals.
is. Yeah.
So.
The same, right? It's the reason why the Israelis aren't pushing hard on Russia, because they're not sure who's going to win. And okay, first off, I'm willing to burn the world down just to prove that one once and for all, based on what we've seen their army able to do so far. Because now they're going to do it. It'd be like us having to do a real war right after SEAL Team 6 got chopped to pieces.
All right, shall we move on?
Sure.
Why hasn't the U.S. sanctioned Putin's lady friend? What's going on?
Yeah, no, that fucking
In
game
short
over.
and simple words, because they're afraid it'll piss Pootie Boy off.
It might escalate things. And I agree, Russia's got a good idea with that escalate to de-escalate shit.
We should absolutely give it a shot.
If she's not in Russia, she has until she can get there. And maybe she makes
apparently is there. She, let's see, what is she? She runs a national media group, pro-Kremlin media holding. Apparently a lot of Pootie Boy's shit is in her name.
it. It's 58,000
So once
to
we
orbit.
get her sanctioned, we may be able to steal some of Pootie Boy's stuff, which would be fun. So.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what he gets for putting all his name and all his stuff in his lady friend's name.
Yeah. So anyway, it's time the U.S. sanctioned that woman.
Yeah.
And
No, I-
started going after the assets, hammer and tongs.
Mm-hmm.
So.
It is time for us to pressure ICANN. No, you are going to turn off the internet.
At least in Russia.
Yep.
Just
Otherwise,
not
we're going to
get
start
named
cutting your fucking lines. We're one of the only countries that can do it. You can't possibly defend it. So if you would like to deal with the fact that the internet can be made flaky everywhere,
Former German counselor says he'll resign if Putin turns off gas.
So now you have to understand, this is not a uniquely German problem, right? So here's a former chancellor who's totally in bed with Putin, has been for years. Let's see, he is on the supervisory board of Rosneft.
Of
and
course.
various other things. I mean, this guy's totally tied to Putin. He should have been considered an oligarch.
If
He
you
should have
work
been
with an
sanctioned.
Eastern European oil company, you're an ultra scumbag. You're the kind of scumbag Mobile can't be seen next to.
Yeah, he's working for Nord Stream and Nord Stream 2.
Yeah.
So he's trying to make up some story about how he's not Putin's puppet. He's Putin's puppet. He should be sanctioned. So.
Russia has fucked up so bad by whacking those two oligarchs and their families.
Yeah.
Because if we start whacking oligarchs, how the
Nobody will
fuck can
know.
Russia ever say it wasn't them?
Because it'll be done competently, which they don't seem to be able to do anymore.
Fine, hire 2 cops to go with, put 2 cops in charge. Like,
Yeah.
we can get it fucked up enough.
Fair.
Send Blackwater kids.
Yeah.
They're fuck ups. They'll machine gun whoever.
All right, updates with BoomerRex. What's going on with climate weirding?
You know what they're talking about setting up in drought-torn California?
What's that?
Surfing centers.
What?
Where they artificially generate waves for you to surf.
Are you fucking
Millions
kidding?
and millions of gallons of water out there being pushed around in the sunshine.
You do with solar at least.
Problem is the water's going to evaporate.
Mm.
So, anyway,
Will they get more rain? Will I get more rain out of this?
maybe it might put more water in the air. Hadn't thought of that. That's possible.
No, because I first went through, is there a way to like recoup power or do something, and not really. And
Yeah, but as you point out, you could use solar for your power, so at least you're not dumping carbon dioxide in the air at the same time that you're dumping all kinds of water vapor in the air.
yeah,
This is right in there with the goddamn hotel with the gondola docks in the lobby.
Yep.
Right? I mean, and that was Palm Desert. You turn off the water in Palm Desert on Tuesday, by Friday, there'll be nothing alive in that valley but Joshua trees. And you drive through and everybody has this manicured green lawn. It's just denialism
Oh, yeah.
and a total misuse of the water.
Oh, God, yeah.
Right. So, again, what we should do is we should set up water meters that, and then charge you 30 times as much for water that you use on your landscaping.
Well, I know
Or
that...
on your idiot surf pool.
Right.
Or,
I know that in Florida they use, like lake water and stuff for watering lawns and that sort of thing. So it's reclaimed water. So it's not tap water. It's not drinking water. It's not city water. So I don't know if they do something like that.
One
in
of the
Nevada.
things you can do is capture gray water and use that for watering.
Right. But yeah, they
In
use
fact, we do a little bit of that. So.
they use a different color line and everything. So
Yeah.
But yeah, nope. So that was it. Anybody got any other things they wanted to bring up to discuss? I didn't
Comments,
really.
questions, concerns?
Right? No, I didn't really see much today when I was scoping
There
through
really
the
wasn't.
news.
On a normal day, that surf pool wouldn't be newsworthy, but oh, come the fuck on.
Yeah. Why?
This is
Why?
how crazy can you get?
Agreed. Marjorie Taylor Greene, as we spoke about in the pregame show, is in trouble. But
We'll see.
world's oldest person died at age 119.
We now have a new world's oldest person
So that's cool.
who is, I think, 113. I saw the news story wander by. But shit, if I play my cards right, that means I could be getting in trouble for another 50 years.
hell yeah.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
So we could go back to it being nice, like in '59, when everyone kind of remembers of Leave It to Beaver time, in that haze we all kind of have.
Yeah.
If we pay $27 an hour.
Okay. Sounds like a good idea.
Yeah.
Sounds like a great minimum wage.
No, we could do the nuclear power stuff. We could do all the things.
Yeah.
Right. The end of every block could be 8 or 9 little reactors. Right. You only actually need 4 of them, so half can be offline at any time, or whatever. Because the only thing I really know about nuclear power is like all T sets. It doesn't like to really be disturbed while it's doing its thing.
Yeah.
So either set it to
Well, but
high
a
or
lot
set
of
it to
the-
low,
a lot
but
of the
don't
newer
fuck around.
concepts
Yeah.
are, first of all, modular, and second, much more controllable and safer.
No, as soon as I heard people were talking about Pebble Bed and a handful of other buzzwords I know about a thing that, like, I know where you can cut into them with a saw and cause God's own fucking problem, and I don't know much else. Yeah, Pebble Bed doesn't do that. I'm just talking.
Okay, fine. Yes. No, loss of primary coolant's a big deal for one of those light water reactors.
Yeah.
So.
And I don't cut into fucking reactors, the internet, but
Yeah.
I don't need to tell you that.
Well, and it turns out that since we didn't actually X-ray all of the welds,
Oh, yeah, not right.
so,
I know a young lady who made a good deal of money checking that sort of thing. Because, I mean, that's the problem, right? Because I grew up able to evangelize nuke power better than any 3 other kids you've ever met. Problem is, we can't do quality control for shit. And all of the numbers I was given over the years were if it was built on budget and overnight. And, shit, that's neither of those is
decommissioning
true.
was free.
And decommissioning was free.
Yeah. None of which are true.
No.
No, again, and
That doesn't mean we
could go
shouldn't
the
do it.
other way if we fund the infrastructure for decommissioning.
Yep.
We're going to have a problem with what to do with all the plutonium we recover.
I don't know. Let's drop right now. Let's just drop the oil company subsidies on fusion and see if we can't get something faster than 20 years. Right, Biden, if you want to try a batshit thing, don't fucking say you're going to cure cancer, because no one will believe that. And it'll be even more disappointing if, like, you do, and then we cut funding, and, like, that's why we don't.
It's only available to the rich.
Yeah, something.
Yeah, Medicare won't pay for it. All the standard shit.
Dude, I find it more concerning the amount of medical stuff that's researching. Well, what happens if we just steal the life force from the younger ones? And, like, that's... You know,
They ought to be good for something.
Here's my fucking thing: is like it's like Uber or any of other, like, WeWork, maybe not WeWork, but like some of the dumb shit businesses. Like, there's ways to make Twitter profitable that you just look at Twitter and go, "What are you doing?" So anyway, there's a way to set up that system where, like, you know, young people donate blood and we pay them some amount, and, like, no, that won't at all be what fucking happens. It's gonna go gross ass vampire. You know us.
Yeah.
All right, and on that happy note, don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, heart, follow, review. Go to BoomerRexTonight, no spaces, on Facebook for fun memes and a link to our Patreon. Give us $1. You can find us on YouTube as BoomerRex, or check out your favorite podcasting service for BoomerRexTonight. We can be found on over a dozen different platforms, including Podbean, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and Samsung Podcasts.
Hell yeah!
And
Yay,
hit
Samsung.
us up on Twitter at BRexTonight. We love you all, and we'll see you back here tomorrow night on BoomerRexTonight.
If you buy us at Airship Internet, I promise to start one of those, like, horribly, like, painfully delightful web things you're so on about. Like one of the nice, like, feel good, I don't know, Twitches or
TikTok?
TikToks or whatever.
Okay, fine.
One of the horrible social medias.